Welcome back to Fairfax Pilates. I'm Brittany, and today's workout is going to be a full body Pilates Reformer workout. We are using a fitness ring and a small playground ball today in our workout. So go ahead and get those small items, set up your machine, and let's begin. Alright guys, welcome back. So we are going to use a ring and a playground ball like I mentioned, so make sure you've got those items nearby. We are going to start using the fitness ring while we start with our footwork. 3 red springs, headrest where comfortable, heels together, toes apart on the ball of the foot. We are going to begin with elbows soft, and as we extend the legs out, giving the ring just a little squeeze. Now I am using one of the Marathon Pro rings, so that thing is a bit heavy. Feel free to use any brand that you choose. You're going to press out on that exhale breath, giving that ring just a little squeeze, activating the chest muscles. You don't have to try to crush it, just give it a little bit of strength. Changing to parallel, and now we're going to lift straight arms above the shoulders as we push out and lower as we return. So this one gets the neuromuscular system going, in addition to, of course, some shoulders, as well as those chest muscles remain active. So just adding a little bit of bonus engagement here to complement the footwork. Just going for about 10. Then onto the heels. This time we're actually pulling the ring out with soft elbows, driving through heel of foot. Exhale breath as you press, and then gently tugging on the sides of the rings. Inhale to return, and then use that exhale breath, driving out through the backside of the legs, pulling the ring apart. We're going for 10 here as well. High half toes are next. We're keeping the arms straight, and we're going right into that run. I'm just maintaining just a slight bit of pressure there on the ring the whole time here, and we're just loosening up those ankles, warming the calves. Just find a nice easy rhythmic breath and then bring it on in. All right, we're going into our bridges next. I'm going to maintain the 3 reds. Put your headrest flat if it was elevated. Heels on hip distance, and we peel the spine up from tail to top, and then articulate our way back down from top to tail. Really accentuating the articulation of each vertebrae so that you get maximum amount of stretch into the lower back. That is the intention here. Press the legs out, hover, and then rise up on the return. Send the legs to straight. We always want to keep a straight line from the ribs to the knees as you drive the legs out to straight, hover, and then all the way back in. We're going to go for 5 here. Once 5, hold it in and melt your way down from your top to your tail. Little windshield wipers with the legs there to just reset the low back. Nice and easy. From here, we're going to adjust our springs to 2 reds, and let's grab our playground ball. We are getting to set up here for our mid-back series. Let's place the ball between the knees and grab onto the ropes. Make sure you've got just a whisper of space between you and the shoulder blocks. Straight arms up and down to start. You're just giving that ball a gentle hug with those adductors. Making sure we're using the back side of the shoulder. The mid-back series here is back muscles, so don't power with your chest. Exhale, we press down. Now we're going to add some flexion here, so crunching up and then returning. As I go up, option to extend those legs forward if that doesn't annoy or upset your lower back. You're going to keep that gentle hug on the adductors throughout here. Exhale up and forward. Inhale to return, and then exhale forward. Taking the arms out to a little wider than a 45. We can add those same legs here if your low back can support it. We do want to maintain either a neutral or an imprinted low back here to keep everything safe and stable. Inhale, return, exhale, press. Now add that crunch and just move the legs here. Meanwhile, actively reaching through the fingertips to keep the length of the arms. Low back safe, strong and stable. Exhale to extend the legs, and then inhale to bend. Now we're gonna stay out there and we're just squeezing away, little pulses on those inner thighs, hugging the ball in and return. Let's move into our triceps here. Back to tabletop with the legs, and we're just bending and pressing the arms. 90 and straight, 90 degrees and straight. Easy does it here. I love this part of the warm-up. Mid-back series is always a given here because it just feels so nice. All right, we're gonna go ahead and get the ball right under the pelvis, right at the top of the pelvis, sort of touching with the low back just a little. Let's get those feet into the straps. Okay, once you're stable here, we're gonna just begin with our lift and lower. The legs rise on inhale breath, and exhale, they're down. It's important that you keep your pelvis steady. If you lift your arms away from the mat, you'll find it way more challenging to maintain stable torso as you are on that unstable surface of that playground ball. The legs coming in on the inhale breath, and then exhale, return. This is going to tilt you into an imprint, but not too many people will argue that they don't like that. It does feel really lovely. It gives you a nice little passive stretch on the low back, in addition, of course, to the obvious legs that are stretching here. So I've got here all these in parallel. We're gonna go for 8. Can certainly go all 3 directions. I'm gonna just go to turnout as well. But if you know your body and you need medial instead of parallel, or vice versa, you do what your body needs. So we're going to do 8 more in a turnout position here. Inhale, the legs are up, and then exhale, we press them down. Just going with a rhythmic breath here. The ball makes it quite comfortable under the tush as well. Oops. There goes one of our members. So many walked by during this filming, I didn't cut them all out. That is a little preview. We've got classes going on in the other room. All right, so bend and stretch. Bend the knees in and out. So we're keeping the heels connected. The knees bend, breath in, point, and press forward. Again, the rest of the body is stable. We're bending in on the inhale breath, and we're driving the legs long on the exhale. Meanwhile, the rest of the body is steady. The non-moving parts are really so critical with Pilates. Stag. 1 out to the side, 1 knee bends. You want to try to maintain an equal resistance on each strap with both of the legs. Same breath pattern. Inhale as the legs move toward you, and then exhale as they press far away. Think of pushing with that straight leg more than the bent knee. The bent knee is your little helper, and really just get a lot of adductors here, but that straight leg doing most of the effort. Stag, one of my favorites. Inhale, we come in, and then exhale, we drive it away. All right, let's go through some big leg circles. You'll find very likely that the range of motion here is larger than if your tail were to be flat. So go with it here. Big mobility, opening up those hips. Just relax the face, the throat, the shoulders, and allow the lower body to just really open and be mobile. The legs moving in on your inhale, and then we exhale, going the opposite direction. Sending the legs wide. They naturally laterally rotate as they open to sides. Let it go. Just let it be as big as you can control, with the rest of the body being stable. Nice big wide leg circles and around. And then we're going to just carefully take those feet out of the ropes. And we're going to carefully remove the ball from underneath. And then let's go ahead and move on. So up we go. All right, we are going to get our long box for the next one. Let's keep it right up against the shoulder blocks. We're going to reduce our spring to a single blue spring and lay prone on your tummy for Swan. It's a little lighter than Swan, but it makes it better with the flow, so we're going to just keep it light here. So the legs are laterally rotated and the width of the machine. Our hands are in the corners of the foot bar, and we are trying to maintain a nice long cervical spine, leading with the chest as we rise up. Inhale, breath floating up and over that foot bar, and then exhale as we lower ourselves back down. Okay, we're going to grab the ball and let's place it between the feet. If your low back is unhappy, you are going to keep your feet wide and forget the ball. Okay, one hand to the forehead, and we are just springing off. This is kind of like a jumping, but with just the arm. And again, those non-moving parts really make the difference. We are squeezing the ball gently with our inner thighs. That's going to trigger all kinds of core muscles to engage, which will also keep your pelvis nice and stationary, which then supports your lower back. Other side. We're going to breathe in and then exhale that explosive power. We're only going so far that we don't feel as though the rest of the body is disrupted. You want to be able to maintain a static position with the remainder of the body as you're just pressing away. Challenging the alignment here as we're unilateral. Okay, now, no more jumping. We're going to add the white spring, one hand to forehead, and now we're doing a tricep press. We're going to have our elbow near the side of the box, bending in and straightening the arm. We've got a subtle lift of the upper thoracic, just so those muscles are on. Feet slightly lifted, and of course, holding on to that ball. We're going for 8 repetitions here on the right. And we do the same on, of course, the other side. So bending in, breath in, and then exhale, we're driving it out. As I watch my clients do this, I notice that as they fatigue, their elbow starts to lift higher and higher to the side. Really condition yourself here, be disciplined. Keep the elbow narrow next to the side of the box to get the long head of the tricep. You want to have your shoulders level, so everything is working. All the posterior chain is on. All right, get rid of that ball, and then we're going to come off the box. Take a moment and just stretch. That one feels so lovely, but it works. So we got to work the back side of the core here as much as we crunch the front. Okay, turning the box to short, we're going to remove the white, leaving just the blue for standing loaded rotation, and we're driving away. This is a golf exercise, so you want to actually leverage the strength of the legs, make it functional. We're pressing on that exhale, rotating the whole body away from the foot bar. We are going for 8 repetitions here on that exhale, press out, making sure that you are getting your power from your obliques, not your arm. We know the arm can do that much resistance. So split the edge of the box with your feet, and we are pressing. Exhale to twist, and inhale to return. Making sure that you are rotating along the spinal axis. You don't want to be laterally bending, so truly looking for the wall behind the machine as you press towards the pulleys. Okay, let's take the box down. We're going to put it long box towards the pulleys at opposite end from the foot bar, and we're going light here. 1 white spring for the standing adductor work. Okay, so if you've got a tower, even better, you can hold on. We're going to put our inner malleolus, so that inside ankle, and we're just putting it right up against the shoulder block, and our weight is standing leg. We are letting the leg extend as the carriage moves out, and then inner thigh. So we're bending that knee and we're pulling it in until the foot is right in front of our same side hip. So my right foot on the carriage, I'm bending it in front of the right hip. Exhale, we pull in, and then we hold little baby pulses. These are the hardest for the balance, really feeling it all down the standing leg in addition to the inner thigh. And carefully go ahead and come down. All right, we've got that on the other side, of course. Long box down toward the pulleys. We're going to stand on it, and let's get that inside ankle bone right up against the shoulder block. We don't want to be curving with the arch of the foot. So we let the leg go out, and then we pull it in. Your maximum range should be right in front of its own hip. If you're able to easily pull it across the standing leg, you ought to scooch further to the side with your standing leg so that you do not cross the standing leg. Challenge yourselves here, guys. Exhale, we pull it in and we pulse. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. All right, guys, and then carefully come on down. And then we are going to bring the box back up onto that long box position. Okay, foot bars down for arms pulling straps. Let's add a blue. So we have a blue and a white spring on. Lay on your tummy, prone, of course, facing pulleys. And we're gonna go ahead and grab those ropes. Okay, so you're gonna take your arms down close to the hardware, or you can choke up on the ropes. So as you pull your arms back, there should be enough resistance. So I did that test one and then I realized that it's not quite enough, so I'm going to choke up a little bit higher on the ropes. Okay, legs together behind you or hip distance, hip height, and then we're going to take those arms straight back. You want to finish with your arm in neutral, so the collar is wide, and as you pull your arms back to your sides, notice the palms face the sides of the body and the wrist is neutral. Inhale, pull, and exhale to return. Inhale, pull, and exhale, return. All right, now just for variety, I've gone ahead and bent the knees, connected the feet at the heel, and gone through that tricep. I like just challenging the legs a bit differently with this arms pulling strap. Exhale and bend, and exhale and bend. And then wide airplane. Now go wide with those knees as well. So again, we just get glute medius here. So the palms should be facing the floor the whole time as you draw your arms to sides, making sure that your collarbone is nice and wide and your shoulders and hands are level. We're going for 8 of the airplane as well. And then just take the arms down and let's go ahead and come off the box. Okay, so give yourself a little forward fold, all that back extension wants a little break. Okay, we are going to have a seat facing our pulleys. We're going to keep those springs the same here. And we have begun our reverse teaser. Okay, guys, so figure out where your butt needs to be, that forward third. Do a little test run. Make sure as you go down, your shoulders are just at the back edge of the box. And then we're going to come back up. Okay, so having a little resistance on the straps. Scoop through the tail, round down. Take the arms overhead, shoulder work. And then the arms can circle around as you peel up, getting the resistance from the straps to add that extra shoulder. Curve your way down. Take the arms overhead. And then you can play with these arms here. They can go to the sides like I'm doing here. Roll your way up. It is a bit of assistance. And now get that shoulder strength by lifting the arms. Round as you go down. Arms straight overhead. Maybe you just come straight back with the arms. And then let's rise up tabletop. Add that finish with that arm strength. Let's get a couple here with that one leg. So play with how you strengthen the arms, reaching up and overhead. Around through the body as you roll back on the box. Send those arms back. And then up we go. Right into that shoulder flexion. Okay, other foot, of course. Down we go. And then up we go, back up. So the assistance of the spring helps you rise up in that perfect teaser, but then it really adds the challenge to the abs with the balance element and of course the shoulder flexion that is challenging. Okay, take a little bit of a break there, and then let's go ahead and give it a go here with the full teaser. Okay, so we've got tabletop legs. We're gonna do the same arms overhead, and then lift up and come right up, and legs out, arms overhead. And then a slow return to table, and carefully sequence onto the back. Overhead with the arms. Crawling your way back up, and lengthen arms and shoulders, teaser, and then back to that table, and then down we go. Let's get one more, all the way back up. Find your balance, channel that inner strength, up we go, and then carefully coming all the way back down. All right, that one's never easy, but it is a lot of fun. Okay, so while we're here, let's just use what we've got. We're gonna shorten our loops. And we're going to make them into booties for the hamstring curls. So we shorten our straps, and then I always find it's easiest if we stand up on the frame of the machine and we slip it in like a little stirrup. Yep, and then once you're there, slide the bottom part up above the heel, so we've created a little booty, and then just make sure you're coming from the outside there. Notice I'm going to step my leg on the inside of the strap. Okay, and then crawl right onto your tummy. Okay, now here is a little cheat. I like a lot of range of motion here, so I'm actually going to move the stopper and the carriage all the way in to the platform for 1 and 1. I find this is the easiest thing to do to ensure proper range of motion for those hamstring curls. Okay, so we've got a red spring and a blue spring. Okay, here we go. So we're gonna draw those feet into the seat and lengthen, pull, and 3, 4, driving those hips down here at the same time, 6, 7, and 8. Okay, we're gonna open up those knees a bit wider, connect the whole instep together, so we're making sort of like a little scoop. Pulling in with the pointed toe ensures that our calves are going to get some of that work as well. And we're going to hold that in on 8. Okay, let's switch out the springs. I'm going down to just a blue spring so that I can do our single legs. So let's keep the pelvis anchored down, pointed at the toe, and we're pulling single leg in towards the tush. Hips down, our entire pelvis is pressing down towards the long box here. We pull and release, pull, and let's just get those calf raises here. Point, flex, point, flex, point, flex. That hurts so much. Don't know why that is so serious, but it is. Okay, other side. Let's pull it in and return. So we have that same awareness here, a little bit of lift in the upper thoracic, so everything is working, and we are just bending and lengthening the knee, keeping the hip down. And we're gonna do 8 of these, and then right into that point and flex, point and flex, and then carefully, let's just use the opposite foot to take off those straps. Okay, so now we're getting ready to do the single leg pulling strap, and making sure that in order for the rope to be the length that it needs to be, you need to readjust your gear bar and stopper to your original settings. Otherwise, the strap is going to be way too short. So go ahead and take a quick second to do that. And then we're just going to keep it light. Just a blue spring is enough. Bring the box over to the edge of the carriage so it's flush with the side. Put that same little booty on, and then come on up to hands and knees. Hands at the back edge of the box, and your leg without the strap kind of comes towards the center. All right, and then we're gonna just go into this big circle, straight back with the leg, and then widen back down to the box. So what you'll find here is that it really isn't that heavy for your leg. However, in order not to do any lateral flexion, you are going to feel the oblique burn here. So the most of the body is feeling much like a plank would, so a lot of shoulder stability, a lot of core. And then we're just challenging the stability of our body. Lift up to the side now and go in reverse. So theoretically, this is simple. The hip is in a ball joint here, that femur, and it should move very smoothly in the circular pattern without moving anything else. Easier said than done, as you will notice. Exhale up and around, and then inhale forward. So making sure the rest of you stays tension-free and strong. Inhale forward, and then exhale, we take it around. All right, carefully just come down all together, and we're gonna slip our foot out of that little booty. Go ahead and lengthen the strap out so we can use it again here in a bit. All right, making our way to the opposite side. We are going to bring the box to the side so it's flush with the edge. And now let's get our foot in that little booty, same as we did for the hamstring curls. Under the foot and around the back of the heel. Okay, so here we go, climbing up. Hands on the front side, legs in the back, and that free leg is gonna make its way more towards the center, and we are ready. So the back is gonna stay neutral, and we go right into those large circles, straight back, and then around. Your challenge is to take that leg as high as it will go towards hip height without laterally bending. So keeping your back nice and still and straight like a table, and just moving the leg around. Exhale back, and then inhale, it circles around. Doing this with full control. Let's go in the reverse direction. The reverse is harder, yes. Up and back. Take it down, out to the side, up and around. Keeping the shoulders tension free is easier said than done, so just keep all your core muscles on to feel like a plank while the leg is pulling you in this asymmetric pattern. All right, and then just carefully step down to the floor, and we're gonna take that foot out of the strap and lengthen the strap back out so that we can use it again here in a second. So go ahead and hang up your strap, and then let's get rid of that box for now. All right, for our next exercise, we are going to need the fitness circle. We're going to use just a single blue spring still here, and let's go ahead and grab the loop. We're going to put it around one of the handles for the fitness ring, and let's just place the opposite end right up against the chest. All right, we're going to position ourselves so that our knees are just going to be right below the pelvis, so figure out where that resistance needs to be, and then we are twisting. So holding that ring against us really promotes a nice tall posture. Keeping those inner thighs slightly active maintains your balance. Inhale to return, and exhale to twist towards the foot bar. Squeezing as we twist. Should feel everything all over those internal obliques there. All right, now that circle is turning into a halo right above the head, and we're bending laterally. So we're going to the right, and then we're going to the left. So challenging things here, keep your legs directly under the hips. So what we tend to do is kick the hips in the opposing direction for counterbalance. Let's keep the legs steady. Keep the shoulders off the ears, and use that resistance. Let it channel down straight to those external obliques. So you're really just focusing on that lateral flexion, and all else is still strong and stable. Exhale over, and then we reset. Alrighty, so now we're going to step our leg closest to the foot bar in the corner, and we are pressing with flexion. Exhale. We're getting that rotation, and we're adding a bit of thoracic flexion as we finish. It's kind of like throwing something. Exhale, forward and rotate. So we've just got a little bit of a different position with the legs, so you can feel those inner thighs just a bit differently. Exhale, forward, and then reset. All right, now let's take both knees down, and the outside arm now is just going to do the shoulder abduction. So we're sending the arm straight up and let it come across. Really do your best to keep your wrist in neutral. We're driving that arm up no higher than about shoulder to head height, and we're just taking it right across the body and up. Let's keep a constant subtle squeeze on those inner thighs as we lift and lower the arm so that we have total control with the rest of the body. Okay, we've got to do all that good stuff on the other side. So of course we're going to use the opposite strap. Let's get that ring looped into the other side, and we're going to put that right up against the breastbone facing the opposite way. Let's get those knees directly under the pelvis here, and nice tall posture. We are simply rotating towards the foot bar and then towards the pulleys. Nice tall posture as we go here. Inhale, we reset, and then exhale, we twist to foot bar and twist. It's a lot of proprioceptive feedback with that ring. I love how that makes you just want to be nice and tall. Activate some of the chest muscles here when it's in front of you, like so. All right, now we've got the lateral bend. So up we go, and we kick it to the side and then towards the pulley side. So you'll notice here that it is difficult to keep your knees and your hips steady. They truly want to go in the opposite direction of that ring for counterbalance, but use your ability to stabilize, get those deep core muscles, and let's keep the shoulders down, let's keep the pelvis steady, and focus on just what's moving, those external obliques, lateral flexion. Okay, so no more ring. We're gonna step our foot bar foot towards the corner, and we've got that sort of that softball pitch here where we're just going throwing with a little bit of a thoracic flexion to finish. Bend breath in, and then exhale, reach and flex. Reach and flex. You can certainly do more resistance on this. This lightweight actually feels quite nice, just because we are really concentrating on really stabilizing the rest of the body and allowing that shoulder joint just to move. Okay, then we're going to give it to our hand closest to the foot bar, and we've got that shoulder abduction. Sending the arm up. Yep. Trying to keep the rest of the body nice and still, and we're just sending the arm out wide to the side. As we do things like this, really pay attention to your body and notice if your right and your left feel equal in strength and mobility. And if they're not, that is just a note for you to work on them so that they are. Okay, and then we're gonna go ahead and come down nice and easy here. All right, let's hang up the strap. We're gonna bring our foot bar up to the top here and prepare for some elephants. We're gonna leave the blue, add a red, and we're standing up. Heels flat up against shoulder blocks, rounding through the spine, particularly the low back. We're gonna press the machine back with the feet, and then we're flexing the spine to draw it home. Making sure that the shoulders are tension-free and down off of those ears. The intention is to lengthen the lower back here, so concentrate on the flexion of the lumbar spine as you pull the feet below you. Exhale, draw it in. Inhale, we go out. All right, so up on a tippy toe. Now we're more in a flat back version. Let's keep this one really small. So the work is truly on the return. So we lift those hips, pull it in. Lift the hips, pull it in. Keeping the shoulders off of the ears. We're doing that flat back variation now here. And then let's go ahead and come down to our knees. All right, so we are going to finish up with a single thigh stretch. Now, you can certainly do this on the ground. I'm just using a red and a blue to keep it simple, and I'm concentrating on just really pressing my body weight forward as I gently sway right and left. And then once you're ready, you can press out for like a partial split. Think splits here. You want to be pretty close to the ball of the foot. Try your best to square the pelvis and drop the forward foot under the bar to stretch the lower leg. We were doing that, of course, on both sides. I like this mainly for the hip opener here, the hip flexors. Leaning that body weight forward, and then just that gentle side-to-side rocking massages the fascia of the foot all through the Achilles and the ankle and the calf. You got to do stuff that feels good, and that feels good, so take your time here. Let's press out, and we're just going for that easy hamstring stretch with the alignment here more squared. It's a bit more challenging than on the ground. Okay, guys, thank you so much for joining us today. That was a great workout. I hope that you enjoyed it. If you love this, please share it with a friend, leave us a comment, and share the video. We look forward to seeing you next time. Thanks so much, and have a great day.